I think people are going to rally around President Trump. We know that our elections are corrupt here. They've been corrupt for a long time, 2020. We saw what happened when we ignored a corrupt election and allowed someone like Joe Biden to get into the White House and lead our country into destruction. And I
Ms.
believe
Lake, you can look down the camera and say that, but you know that's not true. You know that the election was not stolen.
I wouldn't expect you coming from Australia to know one damn
We're
thing
from the
about our
UK.
country. Oh, you're from the UK. I was told you were from Australia.
Okay, so you'd speak to someone who is on the right of politics, but not to an independent
I
journalist.
don't expect you to understand what's happening in our country because I can see you've come at this from a left agenda, which is very typical of the fake news. We had a big day today, and don't let those cheaters and crooks think anything different. And I want you to know we are going to monitor the ballots. The system we have right now does not work. When we win, and I think it will be within hours, we will declare victory, and we will get to work turning this around. No more incompetency and no more corruption in Arizona elections.
Kari Lake, the Republican Senate candidate from Arizona who might be living at Mar-a-Lago in the hopes that Trump will choose her as a running mate, is having her own share of legal troubles just like everyone else in Trump's orbit.
Failed Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake became ensnared in another lawsuit yesterday. Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Riker is suing Lake for defamation, saying he's lost friends and received death threats over her election lies. Despite losing several lawsuits for her false election claims, Lake has publicly insisted that Riker and other Maricopa County state officials stole the election from her by counting hundreds of thousands of phony ballots and meddling with how the ballots were printed.
By the way, this is, again, another example of gravity returning. We've been watching this for 7, 8 years saying, how are all these people getting away with doing this?
Also seemingly like everyone else in Trump's orbit, her troubles stem from her inability to not spread lies in the press. Stephen Richer, the county recorder for Maricopa County, is suing Kari Lake, the Lake for Governor campaign, and the Lake fundraising organization for defamation. Since the 2022 election in which Kari Lake lost her bid for Arizona governor, a loss that she still hasn't conceded or even acknowledged, Kari Lake has made countless defamatory statements against Richer and his family on social media and in public speeches. Lake and her co-defendants have tried to have the case dismissed on the grounds that the statements made were hyperbolic and imaginative, not malicious or deliberately untrue. The motion to dismiss was just denied by the judge, with the court alleging that the claims made by Lake were, quote, provably false. In other words, she knew what she was doing when she was doing it, and if she didn't, she or someone on her team really should have. So what did Lake actually say about Richer? Two examples that were cited came from the Save Arizona rally, which was held in January of 2023. She said, quote, Richer and Gates intentionally printed the wrong image on the ballot on election day, so those ballots would intentionally be spit out of the tabulators. Well, these guys are really, really terrible at running elections, but I found out they're really good at lying. She also claimed that whistleblowers had come forward to tell her, and I guess only her, that 300,000 illegal ballots had been counted in her race. Neither of those, especially that second example, sounds like hyperbole. Imaginative, okay, maybe I can give you that, but definitely irresponsible and provably untrue. Kari Lake is currently running for Senate, but for running a statewide campaign, she's been all over the country. She's been campaigning on behalf of Trump, but sometimes candidates do like to try and garner more national support and donations for more local races. There were rumors a few months back that she had basically moved into Mar-a-Lago just to be closer to the former president, perhaps in the hopes that he would choose her as a running mate for the 2024 election. But since then, Trump seems to have become less enamored with her, seemingly because she takes too much attention away from himself. Kari Lake is a perplexing character study for a lot of Americans because she went from being an eager Obama supporter to an overeager Trump supporter. She appears to be motivated by her own entitlement and ambition, perfectly content to say and do the things that she believes will earn her repute or authority or wealth. What she actually believes is anyone's guess. What her actual values are, we may never know. In the meantime, however, she's someone we all have to deal with, some of us more than others. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Arizona. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please check out my podcast, Modern Context. Thanks.